Hello, dear friends. Rhinoceros tank is the American nickname for tanks equipped with tusks, or hedge-cutting devices, during World War II. After the Normandy landings in June 1944, as Allied forces advanced inland, they found themselves in the rural countryside of Normandy, known as the bocage. This landscape featured large earthen embankments averaging 1.2 meters in height, which were covered with tangled hedgerows, shrubs, and trees surrounding small, irregularly shaped raised fields. The nature of the hedgerows, solid embankments, half earth, half hedge, up to 5 meters high with strong, intertwined root systems, severely restricted tank movement in this terrain, preventing Allied forces from exploiting their technological superiority. Allied infantry, particularly the Americans, fought the Germans field to field, as the Germans had dug trenches in many places directly into the hedgerow embankments, providing their machine gunners and riflemen with cover from overhead artillery fire. These defensive positions limited the American troops' ability to coordinate large-scale attacks or receive sufficient and accurate artillery support. The gaps that existed in the hedgerows were already saturated with German anti-personnel and anti-tank weapons. Armored vehicles moving within their range were immediately destroyed. Tanks were often able to break through the hedgerows, but in doing so, they exposed their weak underside armor. Throughout June, the Americans, with the help of engineers, blew up hedgerows to clear a path for tanks. However, the explosions drew the enemy's attention. During July 1944, various American units devised countless inventions to quickly guide tanks through the hedgerows without exposing their weak underside armor. The hedge cutter, developed by the 79th Infantry Division, was put into service by July 5th, and a few days later, 19th Corps demonstrated a set of prongs that had originally been designed to create holes and subsequently place explosives. The force of these teeth was capable of lifting and removing a section of the hedge, enough for a tank to drive through to the other side. Units of the 5th Corps also invented devices that came to be known as bush cutters and grind bulldozers. A prototype of the toothed assembly was created by welding scrap steel from destroyed Czech hedgehogs to the front of the tank to create a hedge cutter. The teeth helped prevent the vulnerable underside of the tank from being exposed as it cut a hole in the hedge. On July 14th, the first field tests of this device were conducted, and they proved successful. Following the tests, an order was issued to modify the tanks before shipping them to France, and arrangements were made to airlift additional arc welding equipment and crews to France. About 500 units were manufactured, referred to by the Americans as the Rhino or hedge cutter. These devices were used to modify nearly 3/4 of the tanks in the U.S. 2nd Armored Division on M4 Sherman and Stuart tanks in preparation for Operation Cobra. British Royal Engineers and mechanics referred to these devices as cutters. By August, 600 Mark I cutters had been delivered, intended for installation on Sherman 5 tanks. An additional 1,000 Mark II cutters were manufactured for installation on Shermans and M10s, as well as 500 Mark III cutters for the Cromwell tank. It was believed that Churchill tanks did not need spikes, but some of them were equipped with them nonetheless. War correspondent Chester Wilmot wrote that the German defensive plan to halt any Allied breakthrough consisted of holding the front line very thinly and concentrating on holding key road junctions 3 or 4 miles behind the front. After the start of Operation Cobra, Allied forces were able to bypass German positions using rhinoceros tanks, thereby allowing the offensive to continue while leaving strong points in the care of infantry and engineers. Similarly, during Operation Bluecoat, British Churchill tanks equipped with tracks were able to cross terrain considered impassable for tracked vehicles, taking German defenders by surprise. This invention fully proved its worth. Being inexpensive and simple to manufacture, it not only helped fight effectively in difficult conditions, but also saved the lives of many ordinary soldiers. That's all for today. If you liked the video, please support it with a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye for now, everyone. See you next time.